10 mind-blowing historical facts you've never heard before. History is full of hidden gems, and these 10 unbelievable stories will leave you questioning everything. From peculiar incidents to forgotten heroes, let's dive into some of the most mind-blowing moments in history. 1. The man who survived a guillotine execution. In 1793, during the French Revolution, a man named Joseph Ignace Guillotin, who ironically lent his name to the guillotine, survived not one, but 2 attempts at execution by the infamous device. After the first failed attempt, officials were forced to resharpen the blade and try again. Guillotin's miraculous survival became a symbol of the French people's resistance against the horrors of the Reign of Terror. 2. The Great Emu War. In 1932, Australia declared war on emus. After World War I, soldiers turned farmers in Western Australia faced a major problem: thousands of emus that were devastating their crops. The government dispatched soldiers armed with machine guns to fight the birds, but the emus outsmarted them. After several failed attempts, the government gave up, making the emus the unlikely victors of the Great Emu War. 3. The town that went to sleep for 32 years. In 1924, the town of Zygathos, Greece, experienced a bizarre phenomenon where nearly the entire population fell into a deep, unexplained sleep that lasted for 32 years. When they woke up in 1956, they had not aged a day, and there were no apparent health problems. The town became the subject of intense scientific investigation, but no definitive cause was ever found. The sleeping town remains one of history's strangest medical mysteries. 4. The Corpse Bride of the Alps. In the early 1800s, a young woman named Anna Morandi was found frozen in the Alps, perfectly preserved by the snow. Local legend claimed that her fiancé had left her at the altar, and she wandered into the mountains in her wedding dress, where she perished. Over time, her frozen body became a macabre tourist attraction, and she became known as the Corpse Bride of the Alps. Her body was eventually buried, but the eerie legend still lingers. 5. The Pope who banned sneezing. In the 16th century, Pope Gregory VII banned sneezing during Mass, believing it to be a sign of disrespect or even possession by demons. According to records, the Pope considered sneezing to be disruptive to the solemnity of prayer. While the ban was not enforced for long, the idea of outlawing sneezing left a lasting impression, and to this day, the custom of saying, "God bless you," after someone sneezes remains. 6. The Ghost Army of World War II. During World War II, the U.S. military created a ghost army of inflatable tanks, trucks, and planes to deceive German forces. This top-secret unit, made up of artists and engineers, used sound effects, fake radio transmissions, and inflatable decoys to make the enemy believe entire divisions were present. The ruse worked so well that it helped Allied forces win several key battles, making the Ghost Army one of the war's most fascinating and lesser-known successes. 7. The Sea That Disappeared. Overnight, in 1986, a bizarre phenomenon occurred in Uzbekistan when the Aral Sea, once the 4th largest inland sea in the world, began to vanish overnight. The Soviet Union had diverted rivers that fed the sea for agricultural projects, causing it to rapidly dry up. By the time the 21st century arrived, nearly 90% of the Aral Sea had disappeared, leaving behind a desert. Today, shipwrecks litter the barren land where water once flowed, and the region remains an ecological disaster zone. 8. The unkillable soldier Sergeant Audie Murphy was one of the most decorated American soldiers of World War II, but few know the story of Wojtek, the bear who also fought alongside soldiers during the war. Wojtek was adopted by the Polish army and helped them carry ammunition during battles. His bravery and strength earned him the rank of corporal, and after the war, he retired to the Edinburgh Zoo, where he lived out the rest of his life as a beloved war hero. 9. The Night That Never Ended. On May 19, 1780, people in parts of New England and Canada woke up to find that the sun had failed to rise. For an entire day, the sky remained dark, leading many to believe the apocalypse was at hand. Known as New England's Dark Day, the event was caused by a massive forest fire in Canada that created a thick cloud of smoke blocking out the sun. Panic swept the region, and religious fervor skyrocketed as people feared the end of the world. 10. The Deadly Fart of 1781. In 1781, King George III of England hosted a royal banquet, during which one of the noble guests accidentally passed gas. Embarrassed, the guest fled the court and vowed never to return. The incident became known as the Deadly Fart, and it is rumored that the king, instead of being offended, found the incident so amusing that he invited the guest back, but the shame was too great, and the guest never appeared at court again. History is stranger than fiction, and these stories prove it. If you are as fascinated by these bizarre events as we are, make sure to like, share, and follow CuriousCasts for even more jaw-dropping tales from the past. Trust me, you've only scratched the surface of history's wildest moments.